Hello, everyone. I am Courtney. Welcome to the Tribe F3 team call. This is our first one of September. And tonight is super special to me because it's the first time we have a guest speaker on the call. And it is tonight Makenzie, who is she is actually my first business building coach that ever came onto the team with me. You didn't know that, but yeah, you are. First business builder who joined me, and she has just completely blossomed. And I really wanted her to speak to you guys tonight because she has had firsthand experience with not necessarily having the most incredible support system coming into this, and not because they weren't supportive of her joining, but she didn't have necessarily the support system as people who were joining with challenge packs and wanting to join her in her fitness journey. So I thought she would be a great person to talk to about how just consistency and commitment really can help propel your business forward, regardless of whether you have 10 people from your family joining you, no one joining you. You can be successful regardless of where you start. So Makenzie is currently an Emerald rank coach. She turned Emerald 2 months into her business, and the only reason it took her that long was because she was caught up on this idea that it was something difficult to reach. Since, she has definitely changed her mindset. She is pushing toward Diamond, pretty close to hitting it. She's a success starter, which means she earned Success Club her first 3 consecutive months in the business, but she's also just earned Success Club every month since she's been in the business, which is awesome. She's lost 25 pounds since she did her first challenge group in March, which is super exciting. And she's definitely coming at you with a different confidence than she entered into this with. So I'm super excited to hand this call over. Makenzie, I'm just going to have you kind of tell your story, and I'll go ahead and ask some questions. And if anyone else has questions at the end of this, then they can ask too.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Makenzie, as Courtney said. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a senior in college, if that matters or helps you understand where I am and in my relationship to my family. So when Courtney asked me to speak, the 2 main bullet points that she gave me was to give my emotional side of this journey and my business side of this journey. And when I read that text message, I thought that it was fitting to sort of share with you guys a little bit about my fitness emotional journey before we get into the meat of the business side, because I didn't join right away as a business builder. And I think it's important to go through that chronologically really quick. And if I get off track, Courtney's going to bring me back in because I like to talk sometimes. So yeah, so let's rewind a little bit. I'm a senior in college, but last year when I was a junior, I'm getting my BFA in musical theater, and I'm a dancer. And that's like a super huge part of my identity. And in October of 2014, I actually broke my spine at school in ballet class with my advanced ballet teacher who works at the Boston Ballet. So it really threw me for a loop because, again, I found my identity in being a dancer, and at the end of your junior year, you have to audition for dance emphasis, which for those of you that aren't musical theater people at my school, that means you're in the top percentage of your class as a dancer. And that, for some reason, was really important to me at that time. And I made really unhealthy choices, which caused this injury. And fast forward about 5.5 months, I gained 30 pounds after being in that back brace, and suddenly lost all sense of self because I hadn't danced that whole time. And I saw Courtney's post on Facebook. And the day that I saw her post, I had just seen my doctor, and he told me, if you don't lose at least 30 pounds and become pretty much the strongest girl you know, you will never dance again, and you will break your spine again. And then I saw Courtney's post and just started bawling. It was her like before and after picture, inviting to a challenge group, you know, the typical thing that you see. And I messaged her, but the first thing that I wanted to do was call my mom. And the thing is that in every decision I make, I always call my mom or my sister or someone in my family, because they're my rock. They're everything to me. Their thoughts and opinions on my choices mean the world to me. And that's what made this Beachbody journey so hard, because my sister is a dietitian and my mom lost a lot of her weight from Weight Watchers, and we're very like, no powders, no tricks, no groups, you can do it on your own, it's so easy kind of a thing. And it wasn't easy for me, and I wanted to try what Courtney was doing because it seemed to work, and that I knew that it would be hard to get my family to back me up on that. My mom was like, go for it. If you think it's going to make you happy, try it. You're paying for it. I'm not helping you there. Just do your thing. And so I tried it alone, and my sister was like, you're going to get your money back guarantee on that Shakeology because it's powder and we don't drink powders. And so I went in really skeptical, and Courtney originally was like, you should be a discount coach. And I was like, absolutely not. That is not what I'm going to do. I am just going to do this challenge pack, and I'm going to get my money back on that Shakeology, and we're going to see if this works, but it's probably not going to work because nothing ever works for me. And that was my attitude towards all of it. But 3 weeks into the challenge group, I messaged her and I was like, I want a business build with this. This has to be, there's something in this that has to be my career path. I know that this is meant for me. So that shift happened very quickly, for me at least, and bringing that news to my family was even harder, because it was like, well, all right, school's over and I'm going home to California to be with my loved ones, and I had told you a few weeks ago that I was getting my money back guarantee on that powder that we don't drink, but I'm actually getting a discount on it because I really love it. And it's this whole accountability thing is changing my life. And that's when I joined the coaching opportunity. So Courtney, you wanted me to go to like the week before Emerald, sort of fast forward there, right? Okay, so I started coaching, and like she said, I decided that this Emerald thing was going to be hard for some reason. And I knew my opinion on the discount coach when I joined, and so I didn't offer it to anyone that I invited because I don't know what it was, but I had so many like issues with it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because how my family is, how we are, just we're so like we can do it on our own. We don't need this help kind of an attitude. But I didn't want to freak anyone out or offend anyone that I was inviting by saying, hey, you should also get this discount. Why? It's such a great thing. I don't know why I wouldn't offer it to people, but I didn't. And I kept seeing all these posts in like the Team BTFP page and on these teams above us on how people reach Emerald so quickly by signing up their spouse and their family member and getting the discount. And it's so they can run their accounts, and such a great way to build your business. And I realized I can't do that. My family's not going to join. They're not going to do it. I just know they're not. And I didn't want to ask them. I didn't even want to talk to them about it. I felt like Beachbody was like a bad word in the household. I probably made it. No, I definitely made it something worse than it actually was. And my mom was working out with me. She was doing PIO with me at home. And that was like the closest we got. But then her and my sister started to be like, well, is that all you do? Are you not going to do the things that we always do together? You know, my family and I, we bond over, you know, hiking the trails together in California, or walking the dog, or, you know, doing exercises together. And here I was glued to my TV with this DVD, and I realized that I wasn't making it an invitation, really. I was making it something that I couldn't share with them. And something that I realized that I put in the way of gaining their support was assuming that they would never support me in it. And that shift made a lot of changes for me around the week before I rank advanced to Emerald. Courtney, I was in an Emerald push group, and Courtney was talking to me a lot about how just ask your parents, just talk to your parents about how much they're willing to support you in this. Tell them how much you want this to be a serious business shift for you, how you want to make money in this, and you want their support because their support means so much to me. And so I finally talked to my parents, and my dad's a financial advisor. So talking to him about money for me means a lot because I want to prove to him that I'm growing up, and I want to prove to him that I can be stable and get off of their financial support, and they're getting me through college. I want to pay them back for stuff like that. And I finally just brought it up to him, and he was so supportive. And because I brought it to him with confidence, and I brought it to him honestly, and it means something to me. And when a loved one comes to you with something that matters, they're going to listen. Whether or not they agree with you shouldn't even be a concern because they care about you. And so they're going to listen, And so my dad made a deal with me that I was struggling to get to SC5 this month. And he said, if I only needed 2 more people. And he said, if you get 1 person, I will buy a challenge pack for your mom. That's my deal. But you have to get 1 person first. So I had to get to SC4 before he got that last point or 2 for me. It's like, all right, let's do this. And I started hustling, and I ended up getting SC14 because I had such a shift in that support. And this SC14 happened, which was the highest SC I had ever hit, happened while I was on a family vacation in Hawaii with my mom, my dad, my sister, the whole family. We were all in one condo, and I hit SC, and I was spending time with my family, and my dad and I were having coffee in the mornings talking about the business and team bonus cycles and what this could mean if I rank advanced to whatever rank we were talking about that day. And it was just this complete shift, all because I came to him honestly with my heart and with my goals and saying, hey, Dad, your opinion matters. I care about you so much that I want to know your honest opinion on this, and I want you to hear me out because I really think there's something here, and I need your help. And by bringing it to him that way, there was a whole shift. And now they both drink Shakeology, by the way. And my dad brings it to work all the time and with a shaker cup and tells everyone about it. And my mom is like my rock star challenger now. And it took a while. And she's done PIO, she's done 21-day fix, and now she's going completely into PIO because she didn't do the meal side of it before in September. And it's just this huge shift, all because I finally said something. And I think that shift is what is propelling me now towards Diamond, because now that I brought that up to them, my dad literally texts me, are you Diamond yet? Have you signed up another coach yet? What's your paycheck this week, huh? And it's become this playful energy around it because I took the time to explain to them what it was. People don't know what it is. It seems like this huge thing that everyone knows about because your newsfeed is probably filled with Beachbody coaches right now if you're new. And the thing is that most people don't know honestly what it is. They maybe have heard of Insanity or something, but they don't know what the business opportunity is unless you explain it. And so I think that shift was the biggest thing for me. That's sort of my story. Hey, Courtney, got through it way faster than I thought I would. And I guess we can go into sort of those questions.
Yeah. So I would love for you to talk about what you kind of have found in terms of the first 2 months of your business where you were so focused on this idea of needing to have family support and friend support in order to be successful, to now being further along with a different mindset. What have you found just in terms of how you sign up challengers and the way you approach people? Like, how have you made that switch and stopped letting that be something that has hindered you growing your business?
The first thing that I've definitely found that's different from the first 2 months when I was coaching was my definition of what support meant. I was very close-minded, as we can be when we first join. It's so much information that you just want to be so perfect at it. At least that's how I am with everything. I'm like in this box and following the rules or following what other people are doing. And I thought that support from your family and your loved ones meant that your significant other and one of your parents would sign up as discount coaches. Like that, and that was it. That's what I thought support meant. And then I realized that while I do believe that Beachbody can provide something to everyone at some point in their lives, I don't think that everyone is ready. And you have to want it. You have to be craving that in your life. And that's why a lot of times we are supposed to ask the person that we're inviting if they have any goals to begin with, because why would you try and bring them something if it's not what they want, you know? And so I realized, like, for example, my boyfriend is very supportive, but he was going to be in the forest all summer with no computer or Wi-Fi connection all summer. So why would he sign up for the challenge pack in Shakeology HD? It just didn't make sense for him that summer. And like with my parents, they weren't ready. They just weren't ready when I first started. And that doesn't mean that they don't support me. They support me so much that they wanted me to be happy, and they knew I was ready for it because I was 30 pounds overweight and needed to be in dance emphasis. For that was like so important to me at that point in my life that they were like so supportive of me joining, but that didn't mean that they wanted to join, and that's okay. I can still be calling my mom every day like I do, asking her like random questions about my day without needing her to be in a challenge group that I'm in. And I think that shift happened about 2 months in when I realized, oh yeah, I can still be mom and daughter or mom and dad or mom and or sisters or whatever the relationship is without needing them to join me. If it's what they need, that is awesome. And we can do it together and support each other and be accountable to each other and reach goals together. But if that's not a void that they need filled, that's okay. And I can move on to other invites and not dwell on these people that aren't ready yet. And I could be rank advancing and building my business with all of these other people that maybe I haven't talked to in 5-10 years, but really are craving this right now. And I wasn't even looking for that. I had blinders on thinking that I needed just my family and friends to join first.
Yeah. Makenzie, will you talk about how, like when the push groups started to come into your realm, how those help you propel your business forward, and what you gained from those that just kind of flip the switch to help you start moving forward?
Yeah. Again, I think it's very parallel to how I am with my fitness journey. I need the accountability. That's what was missing in my life. And I'm very like, I do my assignments, and that's how I am in life and in school and in everything. And so by joining a push group, I had something to follow. I at least had guidelines on what to post or how to word it, or what, you know, all of these different assignments that we had. And then I saw the other people in the group, in the push group, posting these things. So I felt less alone. So I had the courage to put it out there too. And, you know, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. And with every day in that push group, it became easier and easier to share because it was an assignment, and I don't miss assignments, and that's just my energy. And once it became this habitual thing, then I was freer to share other things beyond what the assignment was. And it all that it really took was seeing other people in that group doing it too. So I didn't feel like I was the only one in the world posting I don't know, my before and after picture on Facebook. I don't know. And that shifted my mindset, because once I got in the hang of it and I got the response from it, I realized there are enough people in my Facebook friends list who need to hear what I have to say and need to hear my story and need to hear my transformation, that it completely wipes away the negative feedback that I may get, which I don't really think I've gotten either. It's just a fear that we have, you know? So
3 months into your business, we spoke, and there had been a huge change that happened. You started to feel a lot more traction, and like people were coming towards you, rather than you having to reach out so much, which, you know, we do every day anyway. But I'm curious to know whether you think that had more to do with the fact that you had rank advanced to Emerald, or the fact that you had just been consistent and in terms of sharing your journey.
I think a little bit of both. I know that the Emerald rank advancement recognition on Facebook meant a lot to my parents. I forgot to say that. Like, my dad and I didn't make this deal until after I hit Emerald. And so I mustered up the courage first to send them the post that Courtney shared of me ranking to Emerald. And I sent them that. And then there was this shift on their end of, oh, you're serious about this and you're being recognized in the company. That's really cool. And then I got the little certificate in the mail, and then my parents were like, oh, this is really cool. You're actually doing this. Like, you're being consistent. So that was one side of it. And then with the push group on top of it, the consistency on my Facebook and my Instagram was building from that confidence that I got from Emerald, and it all sort of went together. But I do think that I know that when I'm consistent in my posting, more people come to me. And when I'm not posting consistently, it is like pulling teeth trying to invite. And because no one knows what you're doing, because no one is scrolling your Facebook page, they're on their news feed. And if you're not on their news feed, if you're not putting your stuff on their news feed, then they're not going to know what you're doing. And so, yeah, I think it was a combination.
So I just have one more question, and then if anyone else has questions, you guys are welcome to ask. My question is, what would your advice be to someone who is thinking about trying to sign up as a business builder, or wanting to sign up as a big business builder, but that is really caught up on either the fact that they're not going to see return on their financial investment right away, or someone that just feels like they don't know how they're going to bring people into their journey with them, right? Like, I just feel like a lot of people get caught up on this idea that you cannot see success if you don't have people that sign up with you right away. But you know that we all have to start somewhere. So
Right.
What would your advice be to those people that are just a little scared or timid coming into this opportunity?
My advice would be, first of all, just to be really honest and open with your circle of friends and your family. Like, even if they don't join you right away, if you're going to make this leap of faith into business building, I think that's something that you should share with your circle of friends or your family, just to get it out there so that the seed is planted. and they're not like seeing stuff on Facebook and your mom calls you from Wisconsin and is like, what scheme are you in? You know, like, just being honest about it, first of all, is good, so they know what's going on, because they care about you and they want to know what's going on in your life, FYI. And the second thing is, I don't know if this works for everyone, but just putting it out there on Facebook. Like, I made this huge leap of faith right now, and if any of you want to be my accountability partners in it, please come with me. I want I have these goals, these fitness goals, and I have these financial goals, and I'm looking for people who have them too, so we can work together and be partners in this. And just putting it out there, because you never know who's going to come out of your Facebook. You really don't. Like, people from my elementary school are messaging me who I have not talked to since elementary school. And it's like, you have no idea who's watching. Even if they're not liking your posts, they are watching. And putting it out there, if you really believe in it and you really want to do this, you just have to do it. I really think that you just have to buy a challenge pack, buy the one that's on sale, or buy the club membership challenge pack, because you will see the return on it, and you have a month to hit ST5. And if you have a month to spare on that $140, just do it, in my opinion, and you will see the return. Your coach will help you, especially on this team. We don't leave you hanging. And I don't know, I just think that you can't be afraid of what they're going to say, because they care about you. And on that note, I do want to just run through like my top 3 tips of when you are dealing or assuming that you're dealing with unsupportive friends and family, or if they actually are unsupportive in your mind. Number 1, when you're talking to them, don't be defensive or closed-minded, because that pushback might be happening on the other end, but you have to just be so open and honest about what you're doing. Because if you're closed-minded and defensive, it's going to push them away forever, and you're never going to be able to follow up with them again. And you don't want to ruin that, especially when they're close friends and family. You don't want to ruin that relationship that you have, because your relationship is not defined on if they join you in Beachbody or not. It's just not. It's great if they join you, but it's also fine if they don't, and your relationship can be the same and fine. Even if you become a millionaire coach and they still never join you, your mom will still be your mom. And like, it's just, you can't push them away. You can't let the stakes be so high on this new exciting thing that you're doing that you push your closest friends and family away. And another tip that I have is advice from your loved ones when they're playing devil's advocate doesn't always mean that they're attacking you. It can feel like that. I know it can. I've been there. But chances are, when they love you that much and they are one of your number 1 people in your life, and they've been your number 1 forever, they care about you. So it's their job to ask the pros and cons of whatever new thing you're doing. It's just, that's the way it is. You would do the same for them. You know, if your brother came to you and said that they're starting a business, you're going to be like, okay, what? Asking 1,000 questions, right? You're going to make sure that they're safe and they're protected, and that they're not being scammed, and that, you know, their well-being is okay. Like, you're going to want to just like cradle them and make sure that they're making a smart choice. And so that's what your friends and families are probably doing to you. If you feel like they're attacking you, they're probably just wanting to know all the details, and hopefully you have all the details because you went through coach training and you have your coach to ask questions and prepare you for those conversations. And then the last tip that I have is, change in your life represents fear of being left behind for your friends and family. If, for example, if you are joining Beachbody and you're getting super fit and you are starting to make some money and you're super happy and you have all these new friends on Facebook, and maybe you even go to Summit and you have all these new friends at Summit, and maybe your significant other has no interest in joining or has no interest yet in working out, and all of a sudden you get super fit and your significant other maybe is like, oh my gosh, I'm not there yet. When did this happen? When did this change happen? And they feel like they're being left behind. That could be anyone. That could be your mom. That could be your best friend. I just am giving an example, but you can't leave them out. You know, like, Beachbody can't be your whole life. It can be a huge part of your life. It can be a huge impact on your life. It could be the reason why you can quit your job. It can be a lot of really important things, but it can't be your definition of self. And that's why we do personal development. Beachbody is a fuel, what's it called? It's the tool to live a free life. you know? And so it's so important to maintain your relationships with your friends and family and your closest circle for what they were before you even heard of Beachbody, while still letting them know what you're doing, because obviously it's changing your life, but that doesn't mean that it has to change theirs right now. They might join you 6 months down the line, but it doesn't mean that they have to. It doesn't mean that they have to be your first coach or have to be your rock star diamond or whatever. Like, there's no rules in that, and you can still be whatever it is that you are while you're changing, as long as you include them and say, hey, I met this really cool person and her boyfriend would really get along with you. We should all hang out, or, you know, or whatever the ties are, include them, because they care about you and they don't want you to like change your plans on them forever. And like, if you always, I don't know, went out to the club on Friday nights with so-and-so and now you're at home doing yoga every Friday night, like, they don't want to do yoga. They want to still go out to the club. So do your yoga before and go out to the club and have your yellow glass of wine and still hang out with them. Like, it's fine. Or your yellow container of wine or whatever. Like, you can find a way to make them both work, and you should. That's the whole point. So, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions for this lovely lady? No? Okay.
Not all at once now.
Well, I just want to tell you that, I mean, you've only been at this for, what, 4 months?
4.5, yeah.
And it has been a complete joy to watch you just grow and, you know, excel in this business. You're a totally different person from when you started as a challenger to when you became a coach to right now. And it is just awesome, awesome, awesome to see you flourishing, to watch your business flourishing, to watch your team growing. And I'm so excited for what this future in Beachbody has to hold for you. And I am so, so, so grateful that you got on to speak to us tonight. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very honored to have been your first guest speaker and apparently your first business building coach.